And we have ignition. What is up, all of you awesome and amazing people on YouTube? The Old Coot here, coming at you with another exciting video. If you saw the previous one just prior to this one, you saw how I lubed up my barbecue with some fat, with some basically beef fat, right? Smeared it all over from like a ribeye steak, or a few ribeye steaks I should say, and just kind of smeared it all over the grill to kind of coat it. What's going on now is, as you can see, you got some sizzling action. Right, see all that bubbling and sizzling? What's going to happen now is all that fat is going to coat and bake into the grill. Let me go ahead and turn the rest of these on. I've got them all set to high, so I'm going to go ahead and open this one now to high and open this one to high as well. Okay, so now we're cooking with gas, literally propane. Anyways, what's going to happen is all of that heat is going to heat up these grates, and as you can see, as the heat starts transferring over, see, it's like a slow process, but eventually what's going to happen is you're going to start getting smoke. See that smoking action, which is totally normal, totally fine. You're going to get a lot more smoke than that. But what's happening is the beef fat that's on that grill, right? This is what I smeared on there. I just kind of smeared it all over. Like a huge chunk of beef fat went on all three sides, right? So you got a left side, you got a right side, then you got a top, and just basically smeared it all over. So now we get a little more smoke, and this is totally normal. And basically what's going on is that beef fat is burning itself into the metal and creating a nice non-stick coating. So how do you keep things from sticking to your grill? This is one of the ways of doing that. It's also all about the temperature of your meat. So if you're going to be grilling like ribeye steaks or chicken or poultry or whatever, it's a good idea to take it out of the fridge at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, before you throw it on the grill. So now we got flameage, which is totally normal, totally fine. I'm waiting for this to die down. When the flames die down, that's how I know that beef fat has baked itself into the metal, and then I'm gonna have a nice non-stick cooking surface. And that's very crucial. So now eventually I think all of these are gonna start smoking, and then eventually they will ignite and do the same exact thing as this. It's very important at this stage to leave your lid open. You don't want to close your lid. See how the flames are dying down now, which is a good thing. That's a good sign. You want to leave your lid open so that the smoke can escape. Obviously do this outdoors. Do this in a well-ventilated area of your backyard or front yard or whatever the case may be. Just make sure that you've got burn off, right? You want the smoke to burn off. You want the flames to die down that were on the grill. See, that one now is kind of doing its thing. This one here is doing its thing. Sometimes you do get a flame, I guess, and sometimes you don't. Like, it's good that that area is usually the hottest part of my particular grill. So I'm waiting for the same thing to happen over here, right, for it to catch. Definitely getting toasty. I can feel the heat now from the fire, but as you can see, there's a good amount of flame in there from my propane gas grill or whatever. But what I'm waiting for is just for, you know, for kind of like for the smoke to like settle. And then what I'll do is I'll put my flame back down to like medium-ish. So instead of, right now it's on high just to get that coating on there, the polymerization of the beef fat onto the metal. You could use pork fat, you could use butter, you could use Crisco, whatever floats your boat, whatever your dietary, whatever is, you kind of get the idea. But I like beef fat. It's just, for me, it's just worked the best. So what I got going on today is I got 3 ribeye steaks. Me and my roommates are going to have a little blast. And then I've also got some washed and dried bell peppers. So these I'm going to put on the top part, or not bell peppers, sorry. I think these are serranos? No, not serranos, poblanos. I think these are poblano chilies, something like that. They're a kind of pepper that just, it's those long green ones that we let mature in a brown paper bag that became red. So these are going to be awesome. No coating, no seasoning, no oil, none of that kind of stuff. But these are going to go, the peppers are going to go on the top part of the grill, and then my steaks are going to go on the bottom. After I've seen that I've got, see, some of that fat is burning through down there, so I want to make sure that that's kind of, you know, good and done and settled. As long as it's settled, I'm okay. So I think I'm kind of at that point. If you have a little bit of residual smoke, that's totally fine. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lower my heat to like medium or low, you know, kind of all 4 of them. I really don't need all 4, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you all that we're at like kind of like a medium low heat. So now what I do is when I put my steaks on, my steaks are going to go on the bottom, and then the bell so I keep saying bell peppers, but whatever these peppers are, they're kind of like the peppers that you would make, what is it, chili rellenos with. So it's kind of like that kind of, whatever those peppers are. Pardon me, I'm going like, I'm going a little spacey today. But anyways, take your steak, slap it on there, season side up. I usually put some black pepper, some salt and pepper, maybe some garlic pepper, you know, that kind of vibe. So pepper, salt, and whatever seasonings you like to use. If you like to use a dry rub, go ahead and do that. Another key trick to doing the barbecue is leave a little room. You know, leave a little space. Space is good because what that does is that transfers the heat a little bit better, right? So that air and heat can get around whatever it is that you're cooking. And if you get a flare-up or two, that's totally fine. What you don't want is a full-blown breakout of just like a grease fire. So what you can do is you can just lower your flame even more if you have to, or you can even shut off one of the burners, which I think is what I'm going to do in this case. Like, I don't need this whole side, so I'm just going to shut that side off. But now what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and put my peppers on here, and just pretty simple, try to get them up top. You know, you kind of get the idea. I may do all of them. Let's see what happens. But beautiful, beautiful, nice matured peppers. Like I said, these were washed and dried. And just kind of do one of those. There I go. That's enough to give you kind of like a sampler. So now, very important is on this side, try to keep a tidy area. Try to keep your paper, anything that's going to like spontaneously combust, try to keep it away from your grill so that that doesn't ignite and ignite the backside of your apartment or whatever. You kind of get the idea. But anyways, you get the idea here. I usually grill open because there's a lot of intense heat coming out. If I want a more smokier or charier flavor, what I'll do is I'll just close the lid, you know, and kind of close the lid, and you kind of get the idea there. But for right now, we're doing good. Heat control's doing good. We got some flare-ups. It's always a good idea on hand to have a good pair of long tongs. The longer, the better. You don't necessarily have to move your meat, but if you get a hot spot, like see right here, I got a nice little hot spot going, then it might be a good idea. And see how non-stick that is? Let's see. See, and it just comes right off. And I can move it around, and I don't have any stickage. I mean, look at how easy that moves around my grill. So what I can do is, this is usually the hotter side of my grill. This is the colder side, and obviously I've shut off this burner entirely. So what I can do is, if I'm really getting a lot of hot flare-ups, I can just move this over here and just try to keep them closer. See this last one. But see how easy that is? No real stickage to speak of. You just kind of move it around. And then once this dies down, see how this died down? Now I can go ahead and bring this back over and maybe just drop it right there. Anyways, you kind of get the idea. I'm going to continue grilling up some steaks and my peppers, let them do their thing, and I'll rotate these every so often. Just kind of get a nice even char on them. You kind of get the idea. Anyways, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down there below. I hope this video is helping someone out there. I've already, remember, if you saw the video prior to this one, I cleaned the grill with a handy dandy grill cleaner, brush, whatever. I did a layer of the fat, right? The ribeye steak fat or beef tallow, and just kind of rubbed it in on all sides of the grill. Let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes while the meat was coming up to room temperature. Turned on the grill, got the flameage going, let that beef fat burn off. Then I threw my meat on, threw the peppers on, and then now I'm just going to grill and have a nice relaxing afternoon with my roommates. So anyways, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down there below, and I will catch you all in the next exciting video.